This is going to be a pretty quick video talking about my orange and my 33. So I was just watching whatever and saw this book pop up, and it's just the exact kind of thing that you run into for the 100th time, and it gets boring after a while. It really is that simple, that there's a bunch of people that play a bunch of inside jokes. A big part of this world is inside jokes and being in on the secret. And I think that it's a cause of, have you ever met people that have fear of being left out? But it's like crippling. They have this crippling fear of being left out of anything. It drives them insane to not be in on stuff. I think that comes from this whole, it's like sometimes when you see the way that these people just exist, you can tell that they have some mental issues going on. And I think that when you learn about the Orange 33 Club, a lot makes sense. The whole OCD thing, something about people that are obsessed with the little details, making sure that everything is lined up perfect. A lot of these people are so detail oriented because they're trained to look for hidden details and everything. And I don't know if that's the only cause. I think that there's probably other causes to OCD, but it just makes sense to me. I know too many people in my life, too many baffos, who are way too OCD about. It does come out in cleaning things, but also I've known many that everything has to be, pointed everything has to be in line with one another. It just makes sense to me that if you grew up always being obsessed with looking for the details, your mind would become weird, too obsessed with details. You're not supposed to live your life totally obsessed with looking at every photograph with a magnifying glass and looking at every person's hands to see if they're throwing a hand sign. Yeah, that's not healthy. And it is childish, but I think a lot of these people, they are really childish and they do have messed up minds. How many of these people are this is hilarious. What's hilarious to me is if you start to notice the orange and the 33, there will be plenty of people that come and tell you to take your meds just because you notice that people on the media and people in day-to-day life have an inside joke. It's like, I don't need to take meds because I've realized that there's a lot of weirdos out there that are really into their inside joke. They're the ones who need help. And they're actually the ones that are all hopped up on antipsychotic medication. I don't support any of that stuff. Maybe there's some cases where that stuff really helps, but it's scary how many people out there are heavily medicated on various pharmaceuticals. And it's just one of those weird parts of end times where you'll be out on the internet talking about, oh yeah, pay attention to orange and 33. It's like a big inside joke. And you'll get screeched at by all sorts of people who themselves are probably taking all sorts of antidepressants. It's just weird. It's a weird, wacky and weird world that we live in, where people yell at you and tell you need help just because you started paying attention. And yet almost everybody around you is zonked out on pharmaceuticals and uppers and all prescribed by the doctor. Anyways, this book, of course, this is just like, why does a book like this even exist? This is just a giant calling card. Hey, look, I know about the secrets. Come read my book because I'm a bigger baffo than you are, because I made a book, but that's orange. And that says transform and 33 steps. So they can't make it any more obvious. This is just a giant beacon for baffos. Hey, I'm a successful baffo. Come read my book. And yeah, the rest of the stuff, Damon John's attention to details. See, it's all about attention to details. Have you noticed that this is just one of those things in life, on the media, not just in the media. This transcends all aspects of society. There's baffos that are dirt poor, and it's because you're either in the joke or you're not. It's a hidden knowledge thing. It's do you know to pay attention to people's hands for hand signs? Do you know about the inverted skeleton thing? Do you know about Orange 33? It has nothing to do with how much money you have. So anyways, Damond is very close to Diamond. Diamond is 33. What is there even to say anymore? It's just a joke. It's a running joke, a running gag of this place, that 33 is one of those numbers that's going to pop up whenever bullshit is involved. And I don't believe in any of the salaries for professional sports players. It's just all it's the same thing as Hollywood, but presented to you as sports. I mean, I think that they really do take these people and inject them full of all the latest hormones and stuff, and it is kind of a big Space Jam monster freak show at a certain point, but it is still orchestrated. People are playing parts. If you aren't familiar with Cam Bees, it does stuff on people playing multiple parts, and especially like NBA players. Kobe never died. He's just playing a part of somebody else now. So I don't believe in when they say somebody gets paid $133 million, no, that's just a made up number. And it has the 33 in there. And this is everywhere. Like this just reminded me of in King of the Hill. What do you think Hank Hill's number was when he played football? Yeah, number 33. It's just everything. Like, why? Hey Arnold, Gerald, for no reason. Hey Arnold's best friend has a 33 on his shirt. Just no explanation. So this is kind of interesting. I just have some space stuff. Space has so much orange stuff, has so much 33 stuff. It's because that's the inside joke. You either know about it or you don't. They tell their children about it when they're young. I remember about 5th grade, 6th grade, right about middle school age, they start to illuminate certain individuals. About middle school age, that's when I remember other Baffo. I mean, I wasn't a part of it, but my middle school, full of them, high school, full of them. Everybody's high school is full of these people. They're all over. And all it takes is knowing certain jokes. Or certain things like bone structure, human anatomy. So middle school is when I remember children pointing out, oh, this finger's long. Oh, look at your fingers. That one's long. They were being illuminated into digit ratio, something about human anatomy. And at the same time-ish, maybe a little bit before that, I remember my sister was always wearing this bright orange Reese's peanut butter cup shirt. And it's because that was the time that they told her, hey, orange is like a thing. And I have other stories too about hand signs where children, even younger than that, they teach the hand signs younger. I mean, this is one interesting aspect of Baffo. Red Lodge versus Blue Lodge stuff is always very, very interesting. But also, what I find interesting is thinking back and realizing when they're telling the children certain things. Because the hand signs start really young, and I don't think that they tell them exactly what it all means. It's more of like a haha, put your hands like this for the picture really quick. But they probably start to teach them that stuff. And anyways, the orange, I believe, comes about like elementary school, and then middle school, when their bodies are going through their changes. The higher up ones are giving their children either, quote unquote birth control, which they don't really need it to control their birth at all, or starting to inject testosterone, or even worse than that is when they give them the topical stuff, because it's a big topic. But it's all so ingrained into this Orange 33 thing because it's just, there's this parallel society. It's the whole Hogwarts thing. Why do you think stuff like that just, people love it? People, stuff like Harry Potter, you can tell that it was like made to be an allegory of what's going on with the whole parallel. There's people, there's the muggles, and then the people who know about magic. But it's so simple that children can do it. Orange 33, 32 going on 33. What do you know? Right around when Hubble's 33 years old, and 32, you can think of it as an inversion of 23. And I previously talked about 2 3s as 33. But also, I think they really like 32 because it's like going on. 32 going on 33. It's the number right before 33. It's like we're about to, they're ushering in the new 33. It's the right before. Anyways, so you see 32 a lot. I see 665 up here a lot because I think it's like 665 going on the next one. It's all bullshit. According to the space agency, you can think of Hubble as able to only see toddler galaxies, while JWST can spy baby galaxies. They're babying you. If you ever see them talking about sugar or spoons, it's like spoon feeding you, sugar coating things. They're baby talking you. They talk about these ideas a lot. Vastly different capabilities. To create the spell binding. Why? They are very, very specific about the words that they choose. Spell binding. Why would they choose that for a science article? So it's things like that you just have to start paying attention to. There's a reason that school tries to make this stuff seem so boring and only apply to literature, because they absolutely don't want you thinking critically in a pop science article like this. They don't want you to think, why would they choose the word spell binding here? Anyways, they'll admit that they're all fake, the images. This also explains why many pictures of the same cosmic object can look vastly different. Oh, they're just covering their you-know-what here. I should have included, there's this thing, have you guys seen it? There's this image from Hubble, and then the James Webb also did an image, but the thing is that somebody found out that it's actually image of a coastline. I forget where. I should have put it in this video, but there's... Basically, they take quote-unquote satellite imagery, which they probably just get this stuff with balloons. There was this satellite imagery of a coastline, and it matches perfectly with what NASA is passing off as some nebula or something. So yeah, they take stuff and switch it up in Photoshop and sell it to you. Okay. Just listen to the way that they talk. Technically nothing more than practice runs. We're making discoveries and we really haven't even started trying yet. While NASA has not yet released a fresh target, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the TRAPPIST-1. It's a trap. It's a trap. The TRAPPIST-1 system. Whatever. They always have to maybe there's something scary going on, but really, if you look at outer space stuff, they are so often taking the piss, having a good laugh. On the ISS, they do nothing except play with their food and chuckle and bring 5 flutes up there and bring gorilla costumes up there. It's all a good chuckle, but they'll write in these scenarios, oh, but it's spooky, or they'll come out with the Apollo whatever thing. They make one of them spooky and they make a movie out of it. Anyways, there's so much 33 stuff. There was something that keeps popping up. I keep seeing people talking about, oh, the universe is 13.7 billion years. I don't know. I think I have another screen cap later, but 137 is a number you see pop up a lot. It's a good bullshit number for these people because 137 is the 33rd prime number. So that's what they tell you how old the universe is. 13.7 billion. What do you know? The 33rd prime number. I'm already bored of this. Are you guys bored? Illustration. They have a lot of illustrations. June 15th, 2022. Allegedly 2 things that are 33 light years away. Look at this. Okay, so this is pretty special. NASA loses contact with Capstone. That's a big symbol for Illuminati. Why was the $33 million spacecraft launch? July 6th, 2022. Anytime. They will be pumping out articles with 33s all the time. They never get tired of it. CRS-25, so named because it's the 25th cargo mission that SpaceX has launched, is scheduled to remain docked at the ISS for 33 days. I talked about this in a previous video, I think, but I don't know. Maybe they do this all the time. A weird 33 start counting back at 33. The team originally planned to count down to T minus 33 seconds and then recycle back 10 minutes. I talked about something like this earlier. They like that idea. So this is a pretty recent thing. Orion's service module provides propulsion capabilities that enable Orion to go around the moon and back on... Oh my gosh. Yeah, like the hey diddle diddle, whatever. The service module has 33 engines. So this is Voyager. This came up with Voyager. What do you know? So this was some recent article about Voyager. The spacecrafts are so far away from Earth it takes 20 light hours and 33 minutes. Bullshit. These spacecrafts are 23.3 billion kilometers from Earth. More bullshit with another 33. You know, that's it. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. God bless.